Did you always know that you were going to be an entrepreneur?
Actually, yes, from quite a young age. I was actually at business school, and in an entrepreneurship class wrote a business plan, which was just a project for a class, but ended up doing it. The professor there actually, rather than giving you normal grades, actually gave you different descriptions of the business. The first one was count me in, which I didn't get. The bottom one was get a job. And then the second from top was worth a try, which is what I got. So I did try it.
And why did you set out on your first entrepreneurial business?
Why? I was actually going to work for the family business, which ultimately I actually did, but I actually caught the computer bug in the very early 80s and wanted to start a computer business, and my father, rather than getting me to work for him, actually supported me in setting up my very first business then.
And who was your inspiration or mentor?
It has to be my father. I mean, we are an entrepreneurial family. I mean, he's 85 now, but he has been my mentor pretty well all my business life. He supported me in all my ventures, and I went to work for the original family business when I was about 10 in school holidays. Wasn't actually allowed to have holidays, had to work in the business, and it really kind of just went from there.
What are the core values that you worked to in the early days?
Core values, I think the number one has to be persistence and determination, because plans pretty well never work. You have to be extremely lucky for any business plan to actually work out. They don't. And to have the resilience to change and to not give up. It's so easy to give up, but have the values of believing in yourself and being able to adapt and still follow the vision, even if the detail of what you're planning to do has to be modified.
What was the biggest mistake that you've made, and how did you address it?
The biggest mistake? Oh, there's been a few. My first big mistake was with my first business. I was phoned up by one of my largest competitors who offered to buy us out, and I just refused him point blank on the phone then. And in retrospect, that was just a massive mistake. I shouldn't have done it. I was like very, very brash and just arrogant, and no way, we should be buying you. And it was like, oh my God, a couple of years later, a completely ridiculous thing to do. But the good thing was that was a great lesson. And in future situations that happened similarly later, I've always used that memory and behaved pretty well exactly the opposite way.
And what are you most proud of?
I think I'm most proud of probably the Vision Direct business itself now, because we created it. I mean, as you'll hear later, it's a real journey. It wasn't a plan. What I just said really applies to this business, but we stuck with it. We changed what we were doing and made a great success of it, and it's been very rewarding.
And lastly, what is the value of a networking group focused on scale-ups such as E2E?
I think it's learning. I think when you meet people in similar situations to you have similar experiences, but you also have different ones, and being able to share those and learn from each other is incredibly valuable. I mean, I've been a member of several groups over particularly the last 8-10 years, and I have made a few very significant decisions based on what I heard in events like this, particularly in terms of recruitment. See, one situation where I was really agonizing about whether I should replace somebody, and when the feedback is universally, do it, for goodness sake. What you're saying, you know what the real answer is, but you're just reluctant to do it. You can go back to your business and make a decision which you may be reluctant to do without that kind of peer support.